Hi everyone, this is Professor Oaks, and in this video we are going to talk about volume and surface area. Alright, so volume and surface area. So let's go ahead and start here. So the first problem says to find the volume of the rectangular solid below. So the volume of a a rectangular, a rectangular solid is just going to be the area of the base times the height. All right, but I know that because the base right here is a rectangle, or you can see more specifically is a square, because both of these two numbers here are the same, so all four sides are the same length here, then it is just length times width times height. All right, so then I will use the abbreviation L for length, W for width, and H for height. So here is the length, the width, the height. So the height is how tall this figure is. All right, so we have 2.5 feet times, so remember FT is feet, all right? So 2.5 feet times 2.5 feet and times 2.5 feet. So 2.5 times 2.5 times, was that 2.5? Nope, I actually covered it up, so it's 7.7. All right, times 7.7. When I circled it, I covered it up, so my apologies for that. But 2.5 times 2.5 times 7.7, that would be 48.125. And see how we have feet times feet times feet? That would be feet cubed, or cubic feet. All right, so that's 48.125 feet cubed, or you could write it cubic feet. All right, so there is the answer right here. All right, let's try another one. Find the volume of a prism with a height of 42 centimeters and a triangular base whose height is 11 and base is 8 centimeters. So this is similar to the figure that was there for the rectangular solid, except that instead of being a square or a rectangle on the bottom, it's going to be a triangle. So it will look something like it will look something like this. All right, so like a bar of gold, or whatever you want to say. So something similar to this. So the volume of a prism is, again, always the area of the base times the height. So the area of the base, all right, so it has a triangular base whose height is 11 centimeters and base is 8 centimeters. So the area of the base will be the area of that triangle. So if the height of the triangle is 11 centimeters, and then the base of the triangle was 8 centimeters, then if you remember, the area of a triangle is actually going to be 1/2 times base times the height of the triangle. All right, so this will be 1/2 times 8 times 11. So that will be 1/2 times 8 is 4 times 11. So that's 44. So that will be 44. And then they said that the height of this prism here, if the triangular prism, is 42 centimeters. So this will be times, whoa, my pen just fell on the floor. So times 42. And then 42 times 44, that's going to be 1,848, and we see that the units were centimeters, so centimeters and times centimeters is centimeters cubed. So remember, this is another way to write this is cubic centimeters. So again, the cm is centimeters. All right, so I'm just reminding you of these abbreviations again so that you make sure that you know exactly what you are talking about here and what you are finding here. All right, so let's try another one here. So find the surface area of the rectangular solid below. All right, so the surface area means just the how much space in area all of the sides of this solid are taking up. All right, so I want you to be clear that if you look at the top and the bottom of this box here, or this rectangular solid, there are two of them that are of this dimension, all right? So there's two of them that are, all right, the 10.4 feet by how wide this is, so 7.8 feet. And then you have, all right, you have the ones right here, the front and the back right here. All right, that will be two of them that are at 7.8 feet by 1.3 feet. All right, so now just try to remember what is going on here. So now you have the two sides right here, 1 and 2, and those are 10.4 feet, and so 10.4 feet and 1.3 feet. All right, so then you just have to go ahead and find the area of all of those, and then add them, add up that total amount. All right, so remember you had two of these, and two of these. All right, so the area of each of these rectangles is going to be just length times width. So the surface area is going to be, well, 2 times 7.8 times 10.4 plus 2 times 7.8 times 1.3 plus 2 times 10.4 times 1.3. So what is this going to be? Well, 2 times the 7.8 times the 10.4, that is going to be 162.24. Then 2 times 7.8 times 1.3 is going to be 20.28. And then 2 times 10.4 times 1.3, that's going to be 27.04. Then if I add up all of those three numbers together here, all right, so that will give me 209.56. And remember, I'm talking about area here and not volume. So the original units were feet. FT is feet, so that will be in feet squared, or 209.56 square feet. So there is the surface area right there. All right, so let's go ahead and try another one here. So find the volume of a cube that has a side length of 21 centimeters. So a cube. All right, so I'm not that good of a graphic artist, but here I am. I feel like I can draw a cube, and the length and the width here and the height of the cube are all the same. Alright, that's what they mean by a cube, is just a rectangular solid where the length and the width and the height are all the same. So the volume of a cube is just going to be length. Alright, and I hope that you don't mind that I'm using L and W and H for length and width and height. So 21 times 21 times 21. Alright, so 21 times 21 times 21, that will be 9,261. And remember, the units were in centimeters. So cm is centimeters. All right. So we are in cubic centimeters. All right. So there it is, cubic centimeters. What a time to be alive, right? So let's go ahead and move on to another example here of finding the surface area here. So find the surface area of a cylinder. So here is a cylinder here, and it has a height of, so H for height, of 17 inches, and a radius, R for radius. So radius, R, is 9 inches. So remember, the radius is only halfway across the circle from the center to a point on the circle, all right? So how am I going to figure out the surface area of the cylinder here? All right, so a cylinder, when you unroll it, it actually looks something like this. All right, just so that you're all aware of what this actually looks like. All right, so it's like this is actually this part right here folding around the sides of the circle until it pushes together and forms the cylinder. So I know that this here is 17 inches, and this here is R is equal to 9, and this here is R is equal to 9. But this here, this yellow length and this yellow length are actually the same as the length around the circle. All right, so if I want to find the surface area of the cylinder, then that means I need this. All right, surface area of the cylinder. So that means you have two circles. So the area of the two circles plus the area of the rectangle. All right, so the area of a circle is actually, well, that's pi r squared, or pi times radius squared. And then the area of a rectangle is just length. All right, length times width, or L times W. So you know that one of the numbers, let's call this the length of the rectangle, is 17. So now, how are you going to find that yellow length, or that yellow length, which is the width of the rectangle here? Well, that's the same as the distance around the circle. So that's actually the circumference of the circle, and that is 2 pi r. All right, so in this case, then we know that we have pi r squared, and then the length is the 17, and then we have the width is 2 pi r. So now we were told to use 3.14 for pi, so we have 3.14, and then r is 9, so 9 squared plus 17 times 2 times 3.14 for pi times 9 for the radius. So 3.14 times 9 squared is 3.14 times 9 times 9. So this will be the 25434. And then we have 17 times 2 times the 3.14 times 9. That will be 96084. All right, so then what do you have here? So if you add those together, you get 1215.18. All right, now then, okay, so then remember that I actually said that there were two of these. So actually, my 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 confusion though, because I said two of those. So we still have to add another one of these on here. I only added it once, right? What a time to be alive. So let's go back and add on the other one here. So pi r squared. That's not too difficult to make sure that we add on both of them, right? So if we add on that circle twice, the top and the bottom, all right, so 3.14 times 9 squared plus 1215.18. So that will be another 254.34 plus 1215.18. So if I add that on here, I have a grand total of 1469.52. And the original units were in IN, which means inches, all right? And so since this is the area, it's just inches squared. If it were volume, it would be inches cubed, all right? So 1469.52 square inches. And you can see that is one of the correct choices right there. What a time to be alive. All right, let's try another one here. So let's find the volume again. The volume of a sphere with radius of 11 centimeters and use 3.14 for pi. So the volume of a sphere, all right, so this has a special formula here. It's 4/3 times pi times radius to the third power. So 4/3 pi r cubed if you use r for radius. All right, so here we go. We have 4/3 times pi, which they told us to use 3.14. And then the radius was 11 centimeters. So cm is centimeters. All right, so times 11 cubed. And so if I just multiply 4/3 together times the 3.14 times 11 to the third, then I will see I get 5572.45. And then my calculator tells me that, all right, or my intuition tells me that this is just going to be a 3 repeating after the 5. And all these answers are rounded to the nearest hundredth, and so I would go with this one right here. All right, and you see that the original units were centimeters. This was volume, so this will be centimeters cubed, or all right, cubic centimeters. What a time to be alive. All right, let's try another one here. Find the volume of a pyramid with a height of 22 feet and a triangular base whose height is 36 feet and base is 26 feet. So, all right, let's go ahead and figure this out here. All right, so the volume of a pyramid, this is going to be, all right, 1/3 times the area of the base times the height of the pyramid. So we see that the height of the pyramid was 22 feet. So this is 22. And we know that the area of the base, well, that's a triangle whose base is height of 36 feet and base of 26 feet. So it's this triangle right here. So this is the base and this is the height. So the area of a triangle is going to be, all right, that will be 1/2 base times height. So that will be 1/2 times 26 times 36. And the half times 26 is 13. And then times 36, so 13 times 36, that will be 468. So that's this number right here times 468. So then a third times the 468 times the 22, that will be 3432, and the original units were feet, so this is the volume, so we have feet cubed, or just 3432 cubic feet. All right, so there is the final answer right here. What a time to be alive. All right, let's try another one here. Let's find the volume of a cone with a height of 0.91 meters and a circular base whose radius is 0.58 meters. And it says, note, use 3.14 for pi. So the volume of a cone is going to be 1/3 times the area of the base times the times the height. All right, so we see that the base is a circle here, and that the height is 0.91. So this will be times 0.91, and we'll still need to find the area of the base still. All right, so remember, this is all in meters. So the area of the circle here, so area of a circle, is going to be, all right, that pi times r squared, or pi times the radius squared. All right, so this will be, since they said use 3.14 for pi, 3.14, and then the radius was, what was that, 0.58, so that will be 0.58 squared. So then 3.14 times 0.58 squared, that will be, well, oh boy, 1.056296. So I'll put that here. All right, so 1.056296. And then I will multiply these three numbers together here. So 1/3, and then times the 1.056296 times the 0.91, and that will give me, all right, that will give me 0.3204097,867, and I can see that the answer right here was rounded to the, oh, to nearest 10,000th place. Sorry about that. So then this will be approximately 0.3204 meters cubed, or 0.3204 cubic meters. All right, so let's try another problem right here. So we're back to a cylinder here. So a cylinder has a radius of 2 inches. So R is 2 inches. All right, so IN is inches, and a height of 5 inches. So H is for height, 5 inches. And what is the volume of the cylinder? All right, so the volume of a cylinder, if you remember from the last time that we had a cylinder problem, it, oh, maybe we have a, I don't know if we had a volume of a cylinder before, but anyway, let's go ahead and we will figure out what the volume of this cylinder is anyway. All right, so it is the equal to the area of the base times the height. So I know that the base is a circle here. All right, so if I want the area of that circle, then that is area of a circle. We have realized before that pi r squared, where r is radius. So this will end up being, since pi is 3.14 for us, 3.14 times 5 squared. So 3.14 times 5 squared. So 3.14 times 5 squared, that will give us 78.5. So 78.5, and then times the height, which is 5. So 78.5 is going to be, let's see, so Well, actually, wait a second. This isn't right. I think this was 2, and I thought it said 5. So that cannot be right. So there we go. So that makes a little bit more sense why my number did not look right. All right, because I could already tell it was higher than it should have been. So I told you that sometimes when I'm looking at these, that all of the numbers blend in together, right? So let's go ahead and we'll just fix that real quickly. No big deal, right? It said 2 when I wrote 5. Not a big deal. So 3.14 times 2 squared. So that's 12.56. So 12.56. So we have 12.56. And 12.56 times 5, that will be 62.8. And the units are in inches. So this will be inches cubed or just 62.8 cubic inches. All right, so there is the answer right there. What a time to be alive. All right, one last problem for us today. So here it is, and hopefully you really enjoy this last one here. So a sphere has a radius of 7 meters. What is the surface area of the sphere? All right, so the surface area of a sphere here. So a surface area of a sphere is going to be 4 times pi times the radius uh, radius squared. So if I abbreviate the radius, which is r, all right, so 4 times pi times r squared, and the radius in this case was 7 meters, all right, meters, and then it wanted us to use 3.14 for pi, so we have 4 times 3.14 times 7 squared. So if I do this calculation, 4 times 3.14 times 7 squared, I get 615.44, and this is an area, so this is meters squared or 615.44 square meters. All right, so there is my final answer right here. So that is all I have for you on volume and surface area. I hope you enjoyed this video and are already looking forward to the next one. Thank you and have a great day.